All right, so we're gonna go over 5 expressions, or some are idioms. We have actions speak louder than words. And you know what? I think this is a very true statement. So, what action, this expression, what it means is you can tell a person a lot better by judging them off their actions and not by what they say. Because anyone can say anything. But saying one thing and doing one thing is two totally different things, and what you do is kind of basically that's what shows you who you are. Yeah, I mean, what you say is part of what you do, but a lot of people just talk to talk, they don't walk the walk. Talk to talk is you just say you're going to do this, you're going to do that, but you don't walk the walk. You don't actually do what you're going to say. So action speaks louder than words. This is basically what you do tells me a lot more about you than what you say. So that's what this expression means. And you could say this when when they're saying things that kind of like they say one thing, they do another thing, and it kind of bothers you, it irritates you. Well, that's when you say, yeah, action speaks louder than words. Hold on one second, please. I gotta get something for my throat. All right, sorry about that. I got a sore throat. All right. Next, add insult to injury. When you add insult to injury, basically means by what you said or what you did made a bad situation even worse. Because there's injury. That means there's already a bad situation. Somebody's already hurt. But now you added insult to the injury. Now you did something or you said something that made the situation even worse. So let's say someone has offended you, there's already injury. And on top of that person offending you or hurting you, they did something or said something to make it worse. So they added insult to injury. But you don't have to use it when someone does something against you the first time. In other words, maybe you got into a car accident. And so it's a bad situation. And then when you told somebody about it, they were laughing, like they thought it was funny. So they added insult to injury, right? And you'll say, oh man, you just added insult to injury, So you can also use this expression like you're going to go meet somebody and you're bringing a friend with you, and the person you're going to meet, they're like in some kind of trouble or they're having some problems, and you explain to the person with you that, hey, don't add insult to injury. Don't say anything or do anything that's going to make them feel worse. All right. So we're going to move on to best of both worlds. Best of both worlds is like you're taking advantage of two things at the same time. And sometimes people use best of both worlds like you're taking advantage of everything at the same time. So, there's an opportunity where in that situation you get the benefits of two options. And so an example of, best of both worlds is like, you really like fishing. Like me, I really like fishing. And I really love my sons. I really like fishing, but I really love my sons. And then all of a sudden, my sons tell me they want to go fishing with me. So I take them fishing. I'm getting the best of both worlds. I'm doing something that I really like while spending time with my sons. Okay? That's like when you would use this. Another time might be like work related, Your company or your job sends you to a vacation spot, but for a business trip. Now you're getting best of both worlds where you're working and getting paid, and you get to, enjoy sightseeing and whatever that place has to offer. Next is can't judge a book by its cover. And what this means is don't judge a person or don't judge something, maybe a product, clothing, whatever, a book, because this can't judge a book by the way it looks. So, you're going to run into people. We've all done this, unfortunately, where we saw somebody and we kind of judge that person by the way they look, maybe by the their facial features or their clothing or body feature or something. But there are many times where we judge a person by their physical appearance, and then we were proven wrong when we got to know the person. And this can also go with products. You might look at a product by its cover. And by its cover, it looks really bad. You think it's not a good product, but then when you use it, it's really good. And we've been tricked where we bought products based on its cover. We thought the product would be really good because the packaging was really good. And then when we tried the product, it was really bad. It was really disappointing. So that's an expression. Can't judge a book by its cover. It takes two to tango. Basically saying it takes two people for something to happen. But you can use this in a good way or bad way. So even if it takes two people for something to happen, rather is a good thing or a bad thing, regardless, it takes two to tango. And so, for example, let's say you're like mid-late 30s, and your parents are really pushing you to get married. Oh, go get married. And you tell them, hey, it takes two to tango. It takes two people to get married. It's not just, do I want to get married? Does somebody else want to marry me? Right? Another time you could say it takes two to tango is maybe you're fighting with somebody. And they're saying, oh, it's your fault that we're fighting. Why are you doing this or saying that? And you tell them it takes two to tango. In other words, you're telling them it takes two people to fight. It's not just me. You did something for me to act this way too. So it takes two to tango. All right, so that's what it means. It means it takes two people for something to happen. All right? Okay.